So the thing is, when I think I'm a separate person, I think that's the whole story. That's the whole thing, is that I'm a separate person and it ends there. But no, what is looking right now out your eyes? What is seeing? So the focus is not on an object. We're not interested in the table or a chair or an object. What we're interested in is always here. You could call it the timeless. Emptiness. It's just always here. It's that simple. So thoughts come and go, feelings come and go, stories come and go. But this is just always here. But it just gets overlooked. We don't notice that. So it's as if you're the space, right? Where your head, your face should be here, but that's not your experience. When other people see your face, but when you're looking, do you see your face, or do you see the world? My face is filled with you beautiful beings, everything that's appearing, and here on this end there's nothing. Now I'm not doing any magic tricks. That's not any highfalutin stuff. I'm just looking. So that's what we're doing at this meeting, is rather than going by conventional thinking or what you've been taught or what you believe, we're actually just taking a fresh look right now. So that, in a way, I love this because it takes the pressure off of me, because it has nothing to do with me. It's your experience. No one can tell you what your experience should be. Only you can do that. You have to look. No one else can do it for you. No one else can tell you what you are. And I think in society, we've so looked to others to, tell me who I am, give me a sense of what I am. And we looked outward for the answers. It's as if we have, in a way, we have a personal world that no one else sees. Your life, the movie of your day, that's just for you. Who else? This whole show is just for you. And this show here is completely different than the show there. So we are different in that sense, is each experience is going to be totally different from another's. So this funny idea that everyone should think like I think, but that's not the whole story. And that's what I was saying earlier about the human being. As a person, I think that's the beginning and the end, but no, it's leaving out the infinite. It's leaving out the emptiness. It's leaving out the void. Where all, excuse my French, but where all the shit comes from. So we can't meet in each other's world. Like you can tell me about your day, but I can only have an approximation, maybe a similar memory or some way to connect with what you're saying, but it's not going to be exact. So really, our stories, we can't really connect deeply, but the indivisible oneness that everything already is, we're already connected. It's just invisible. It's just, it doesn't blow any, I was going to say it doesn't blow any trumpets, but it could blow trumpets. So there's no denial of anything. There's just the story as it's playing out. It's fine. It's limited. It's duality, we could say. So that's the story in time. But the thing we forget, the thing that we overlook is the timelessness. And the timelessness is what's looking out your eyes. I mean, the timelessness doesn't age. Timelessness doesn't get old. Well, so you've heard the expression ever fresh. Maybe you've heard that, ever fresh. Yeah, because it's timeless. So this is an open meeting. Everybody's invited to participate. If you have a comment or question you'd like to share, please unmute and jump in.
Yes, I would like to. I was wondering if I was thinking about my Wi-Fi, my modem with the Wi-Fi here, and I was wondering, is the timelessness, is the Wi-Fi like an analogy of the timelessness? Because the Wi-Fi doesn't mind what it just keeps on keeping on, like it it doesn't have any comments to make, any judgments. It doesn't mind whether I do a bad thing or a good thing. Would that be a reasonable
Yeah,
analogy?
I love it. I love it. Yeah. No, exactly. Does the Wi-Fi care if you send a nice word or a cuss word out? Does it? Oh, it literally has no ability to care.
Mm.
So that's your true nature. I like it. It's a good example. Because your true nature just is timeless. So it doesn't have the petty, because our petty concerns take time. So it's not a denial. That's what I love about this message, is its inclusivity. So it's acknowledging, yeah, there appears to be time. Great. But there's also the timeless.
One of the things that occurred to me was that the me, again, innocently, like it's also part of everything coming from nothing. But one of the signature energies of the me, of the illusion of me or you, is the four S's, which is seeking, suffering, separation, and stories. Like it's sort of easy to notice that, like as we're looking, like what kinds of energies are circulating. And again, thinking there's something wrong or bad about that is it's a mix-up. It's not that it's wrong or bad. It's just what's happening. It's just what is. But those are the components that make up that illusion. And the seeking, in particular, the feeling that something needs to happen, that things have specific meanings, and that they have specific meanings about me or this or something else. Like, yeah, yeah.
There was an actress and she was going over her lines. She was doing a scene and she was flubbing it. And she went back and the casting lady said, look, when you go out there, just think of this in your mind. You are enough. And she went out there and nailed it.
Well, this isn't quite saying this. This is saying you're nothing. And there's such freedom. Like you would never suspect, but it's not. It's because it's just, if you look directly now, like without going to memory, just now, here and now.
Yeah, I had the most, it was a surprising experience. I have a fairly close relationship with my 16-year-old granddaughter, and I've sort of been thinking I'd like to share with her this non-dual message and see her reaction. So I had a brief opportunity a couple of days ago, and I mean, I don't really understand the whole, like, I'm struggling myself, you know, but I'm loving this message. And anyway, I tried to say something like what you would say, Michael, and I sort of asked her, who's behind those eyes? Who's looking at? Where are you? Well, she loved it. We have yet to explore further, but that blew me away. She didn't say you've got rocks in your head or, you know. Oh, so yeah, how precious.
That's great.
Mm.
You just never know. Like, there's no predicting who's, you know, for most, it's fine, you know, the way it is, the normal conventional life sort of works. But for some of us, there is this burning desire. Who am I? That was always there.
Yeah, well, my granddaughter's just recently been through this horrendous for her breakup with a boyfriend. And I think it's caused her to dig deeply and think deeply about all sorts of issues, relationship issues, I guess. And yeah, so I think that's sort of prepared the ground for me suggesting what I did. But what I followed it up with a day or so later was to say that, I mean, she realizes that what I'm saying is very out there. Nobody else is asking those questions. But like I made the comment that, you know, it may not fit with your intellectual, rational understanding, but this non-dual message somehow rings a bell within. And I think that that's what happened for her, that she didn't dismiss it because she couldn't explain to you that, she couldn't explain to you how she reacted, but she agreed with me that it was something that you know, well, it's the resonance, isn't it? The resonance within that it's not coming from the head and the responding and understanding and intellectual of the head, but something must have just rung a little bell within her so that she didn't want to put me in the loony bin, you know.
A while back, Michael, when you suggested or invited us to look right now, I'm just going to report what happened when I'm looking right now to stay right here. So the mindset is totally open to what's being talked about here, and so when I do this experiment to look, I see the body. I don't see the face because the eyes look out, but when I kind of look down, I see the body, and I just see, I don't see that. I'm not exactly sure how I'm noticing that there is this, what seems to be habitual identification or understanding or taking it for granted that this is me. And it's like that's all I've ever known, except maybe for these moments when I say, well, we keep talking here that this is not me, or there is no me. And so, yeah, that's about,
Well,
that's what happens. I'm not, I'm not buying into it or advocating it or believing it or denying it. It's just the way it presents.
yeah, it's fine. Like a me, there's no problem with the me. Because remember, you're the infinite already. So as Nkosi says, me, know me. Only, go ahead.
No, I just, when I hear that, it's like, so, well, I'm tempted to let go then of the notion that there shouldn't be a body, like it's obvious that there is a body here. So not making a problem out of that.
Well, okay, but let the body let the body be the body. What is, you're not the body. Are you aware of the body, or is the body aware of you?
I am aware of the body.
Yeah. You're aware of everything, right? Airplane
Yeah.
flying overhead, the lights, the colors, the people on the Zoom.
I don't know if it's relevant, but I'm encouraged about, I've been thinking about the body recently, and I'm encouraged when I remember that the body keeps breathing by itself. And then it gets hungry and I eat, and then, the body gets rid of the waste, all without me having any control over it. I find that reassuring somehow. Like, because I don't have to do it. It's happening.
Well, because nothing's separate. So the body's happening, the trees, the wind, the clouds, the sky, it's all one undivided expression. It's only now, right? The expression is only ever now.
I think what strikes me is that I've been, all my life, I'm thinking that I have control of everything and I'm responsible for everything. And then all of a sudden I realize I don't control my breathing. It just happens.
But it's both. Again, I'm going to beat this into the ground. It's okay if there's just someone there that's trying to control. Like that can happen too. There can be like, but it doesn't change that you're already the infinite. So it's like
Yeah, well, it's just a bit of a revelation for me, to think that, me who thinks that I have to control everything and it's all my responsibility, and like the body will drop when the body drops. The breathing will stop when the breathing stops. I can't control when I die.
no, the timeless can't control when it dies. You're not, yeah, you weren't born. The thing that never moves, that's ever present, that's not about time. So all these little, they're like fireworks, all these little expressions, little dance. It's the one thrown, it's a circus, come on. But that's the beauty, right? When you realize it's the infinite expressing itself as a circus, that's pretty funny. Because it takes it out of the personal realm.
Mm.
Would it be safe to say that all the dramas of life are just kind of a form of entertainment?
Well, not when you're going through them, but I mean, that's funny you should say that though, Vanessa, because I was thinking about how we call movies dramas. We're going to make a drama, right? And they film a movie. They're called dramas. Yeah, I mean, dramas are fine. You know, you could honk the horn at somebody, you know, it's all this. It's just this honking the horn at itself. It's because again, you got to come back to there's no separation. That's sort of the nail. Because if there's no separation, there's no separation. And the feeling of being separate isn't separate. The feeling of being separate is included.
I like that the feeling of being separate is included. Thank you for saying that. That's I don't know, feels good. It's really nice. Thank you.
Don, I really appreciate it. I was sitting here and I'm kind of projecting what's going to happen next, and I was expecting you to kind of go up against something with a question, and you totally blew me. I was totally wrong, and I know exactly what I also resonate with what you said, the appreciation that it's all included.
Good evening, Nkosi.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Michael.
Nkosi.
Hi.
We were just discussing before you got here how this doesn't mind whatever happens.
Yeah, it really doesn't mind, really, because it's not a human being. It may appear as a human being in a dream, but it's not a human being. It may appear as a person, but it's not a person. It's just everything. So it's just, it doesn't mind itself. Because everything is it already. There's no separation. The talking, the thinking, asking of a question, giving of an answer, wondering, it's just this expressing as that already. All is included in this. As this. There's no one outside of this. To know this and become this, or to have the knowledge about this, there's just this appearing as everything. So there's simply this. And this has no intention to do anything, to become anything. It doesn't really mind what's happening. So there's nothing to do. Yeah. There's nothing to be done already. Because there's no doer to do anything. There's no separate self. There's nowhere to get to. There's no journey. There are no steps. It's just this. And this isn't going anywhere. This isn't moving. It's not trying to become anything. It's just not trying to know anything. And this doesn't regard itself as special. It's just the way it is. It's not waiting for anything to happen. There are no expectations. It's not looking for anything. It doesn't have any desire. And what seems to be a desire may arise at times, but it's just also disappearing instead. Doesn't mean anything. Words don't mean anything. Yeah. This is wordless. This is already here before words. This is already here before any talking may seem to happen. Yet what seems to be talking is also it's appearing as that. It doesn't need any talking for it to be itself. It doesn't need anything to happen for it to be itself, to be what it is. It's already here without any efforts. without any thinking, without any searching. It's already here for nobody. It is not a human being. It's not a man or a woman. It doesn't have any culture. It doesn't have any religion. It knows no individual, knows nothing. In a way, knowing nothing is knowing itself. You can say it's unknowing. Nothing is known here. There's nobody to know anything here. There's just this. It's more solid than what seems to be solid. It's already here, deathless, bedless, ageless, desireless, effortless, and obvious. It's an unchanging formlessness. It doesn't matter what seems to be happening. It's always here. What seems to be argument may arise. What seems to be discussions may seem to arise. But it's just, it's also appearing as that. It doesn't really go away. What seems to be an activity may happen, going around, moving around, cars hooting, people shopping, doing this and that. But there is always that backdrop that is unmoving, that's not doing anything. It's not waiting for anything to happen. It's not trying to become anything. It's just there, watching, without a watcher. It's not even watching, it's just there. Yet it is seen that even the activity is also this appearing as an activity. It's not that there is an activity in the backdrop, the background that is always watching. Watching without interest, watching without the desire to know anything, watching without the desire to gain anything from what is being watched. So there's nobody here. And there's no meeting here. There's nothing here. Nothing is happening here. Just seeing itself as it is. Just seeing itself as it is. It's not doing anything. It's not trying to become anything, to know anything. It's not somebody who's seeing, it's just seeing. And nothing is seen unless what seems to thoughts arise. Say, oh, I see this and that, or imagination. I see that and this and that. But the seeing itself is not doing anything. It's not somebody, it's not a man or a woman. It's not a human being. It cannot be pointed to, can never be known, can never be seen, can never be held in view. It's already here without any efforts, without any thinking, without any searching. It's already here. And there is just seeing and nothing is seen. Yeah, that's it.
It's beautiful. Yeah, we're so lucky. Love that.
Yes, because your words, Kosi, are comforting. The comforting that they may not all make sense to me, but just listening to them quietens the soul. Precious. And I agree with Michael. We're very fortunate to have you join the meeting. And we're also very fortunate that you don't mind repeating yourself over and over and over. I've heard you say those words many times before, but they're still beautiful every time I hear them again. And I'm grateful you don't get tired of repeating them.
Yeah. This doesn't mind. It really doesn't mind itself. It doesn't see the other, it sees itself. So it doesn't mind itself. And it's already here without any efforts. It's already here. It is effortless and obvious. Yeah, it's unconditional love. It's unconditional love.
So it'd be unconditional love for no one. So so explain that a little more.
I would say that there's so much space here that everything is allowed to be itself. It's allowed to be as it is. There's no judgment because this sees itself. It doesn't see the other. It knows no individual. It really doesn't mind the activity because the activity itself is also this appearing as an activity. So it doesn't have any conditions. There are no conditions. It doesn't have any expectations. It really doesn't know anything. So anything that is happening is just already it appearing as that. So it doesn't really expect itself to be or to behave in a certain way. It's well, as I always say, this is beyond words. Yet every word that may seem to appear is just it's appearing as words as well. So this is everything. This is everything. Asking of a question, giving of an answer, wondering, searching. There's nothing that can stick out of its own, and stand there, been simply separate. Is this just everything, including talking, thinking, waiting, a feeling of separation, unity, swearing, anger, frustration. judgment. It doesn't really may seem to, it doesn't really mind. You can swear at it, you can call it names. It doesn't really mind. I would say it's conditional love, but that is just a word. It's just a word. This is worthless. This is not doing anything. It's not saying anything. It's not making any efforts to be itself. It's already here. That which does not make any efforts. That which is obvious, clear, simple, even beyond the word simple. It's deathless, bedless. That's it.
Any last comments or questions before we close out this evening?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Michael-Nkosi, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. To each and every one of you, we love and appreciate all of you. Have a great evening, everybody.
Everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Right.